I know you're gonna dig this.
They'll put a second for one, and now they got the man trapped at third and tag him out. And 2nd and 2, handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a little room, lot more room, and he's off to the races.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and co-host Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
I know you're gonna dig this.
What's up, everybody? Happy late Thanksgiving to everybody. I hope you enjoyed your turkey, your stuffing, your cornbread, your mashed potatoes.
Don't forget your football.
Hope you enjoyed the football over the weekend. And I tell you what, man. Wow. We want to ignore the terrible towel thing, but they beat up on the Cincinnati Bengals. Come on, man. They got the third string quarterback in, and he's waving his terrible towel like they did something great. Just because they got over 400 yards of offense, it took them almost 2 years to get that. And watch they go out and lay egg next week, and he gonna be like, "Yo, I don't know what's going on. I'm ready for
Baltimore. We're back.
Back from where? Hey, but I got something I want to show you guys. Do anybody know what this is? Am I showing my age with this right here?
Is that the one where you gotta hit? You gotta flick the ball all the way up, and it go wherever it goes. You put a man on base or whatever.
Yep.
See, I had the football one.
I got the football one, but it's downstairs in my basement.
Yeah, the football one was the handheld one.
Yo, I
and
did
you
a
had to
full
like go up and down and go across and run. But it felt like you're running like 100 yards, like 500 yards to get the touchdown.
I'd be like, yeah, and I'm telling you, I had so much fun with that thing, man. As a kid growing up, people just don't. These young people just don't know how much fun we had by ourselves. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. As a kid, we had a long hallway, right? You know the little paper footballs you used to make. You ever play paper football on the table? So I had the paper footballs. I made one up with me, my dad, my mom, my brother, my sister, and I would pluck them in. I'll pluck them in the hallway, and if I plucked them so far, I get so many points. I plucked them all the way in the room, I get so many points. Yo, I was never bored by myself. I was never bored. And now these kids got all kind of stuff. They keep them bored, but they don't go outside at all. You know what I'm saying? They live to come home and play PlayStation or Sega Genesis or whatever they got going on now. They need to get out. I'm telling you, you need to get out and experience cold weather. These kids don't even know what cold weather is. They're like, I'm like, come on out, let's go outside. I remember one time I said to my son, I said, come on, we're going up to the park. We're gonna get the sled and we're gonna ride in the snow. Man, we was running up there about 5 minutes. My son said, Daddy. I said, what? He said, I'm having fun, but I want to go home. I said, why you want to go home? He said, because I'm cold. I said, you cold? I said, man, you can be cold. Yeah. He said, yeah, I'm cold. I said, well, all right, man. I like, y'all just don't get it, man. With the sled, I had the plastic cup type of thing, and we would go up off this hill, and it was like a road in between there, We just could fly over the road and come back down, and we had a little slope we had to go up and fall down. Man, that was a life, man. That was a life, man. Look, that was fun. That was fun. These kids don't know how to have fun.
Never did sledding.
They don't know how to. They don't have.
It was no.
These kids don't. These kids don't know how to have fun. These kids don't know how to have fun, man. They don't know how to have fun. Who we got on the line? We got Lou on the line. We got somebody from Columbus, Ohio. Who's that from Columbus?
Hey, Matthew.
Matthew. We got Matthew on the line. We got Lou on the line. Dana should be here shortly.
Yep.
We got Robert Connolly, who used to have a show with us. I don't know if he still does a show or not, but he's on the live feed with us. He's another Pittsburgh Steelers fan. They drive me up a wall. They beat up on the Cincinnati Bengals, who got a third-string quarterback, right? And it got terrible towel out. They all jump up and down like they did something great. You know what I'm saying? And then my Browns lose to Denver Broncos. Myles Garrett might be done for the season, which hurts. Quarterback gets concussion off a late hit. I'm not gonna say it was a late hit. I think it was a legal hit. Everything's just falling apart with us. But it'll be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Myles Garrett has no structural damage to his left shoulder. Be happy.
Well, he said he said if he heard something pop, but he said I'm going to play unless they pull my arm off. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in a dilemma this weekend. Anybody know why I'm in a dilemma? Anybody else want to take a guess other than Mo?
Could the Rams be playing the Browns? Now you gotta say your true colors. I see your true colors shining through.
Okay.
Oh man, I just don't want nobody to be hurt. Please don't nobody get hurt. Don't nobody get hurt.
What if Myles Garrett hurts Matthew Stafford?
I'll be mad. I'll be mad because the Rams beat up Arizona again. They got a chance to get that wild card, which they probably won't. I mean, they got a good chance because they beat Seattle back to back. The game that really hurt them was the Packer game. That's the game they should have won. They had to win that game, but they didn't have no quarterback that game. That sounds familiar. Both teams don't have a quarterback. Now Matt Stafford back, but the Browns don't have a quarterback right now. And I don't know. I'm a little stuffy today, ladies and gentlemen. My sinuses came back. The reason why I'm probably stuffy is because my high school played in the district finals this weekend, Friday night, I think it was. Friday night, Saturday night. No, was it Saturday night? No, it was Friday night. We were down 28-7 at halftime and came back and won 34-28 in overtime. I sent Mo and Dana a little pregame, after game thoughts of what happened. And Mo, let me tell you this real quick. So, we got somebody from Winston-Salem. Who's from Winston-Salem? Is that Curry?
Yes.
All right. Got Curry on the line. So Mo, let me say this, right? It was so cold out there that I had got the gloves and I put the heat things in my glove, and I had the wrong gloves, so I couldn't do my iPad. I couldn't work my iPad. Of all games, I couldn't work my iPad. I was just that cold. And I think that's why I'm feeling what I'm feeling right now, because of being out in that cold weather. Because it was I know it had to be at least 20-some degrees outside. That's probably has been the coldest day in November for us in Pennsylvania so far. I gotta say that. But we did win the game. We go into the first round of the states. We play a team from North Allegheny. They're supposed to be really, really good. But we're really, really good. The problem is that we played St. Joseph Prep, who recruits everybody. Marvin Harrison Jr. came from St. Joseph Prep. The tight end that plays with the Atlanta Falcons, he came from St. Joseph Prep. One of the quarterbacks that's at Ohio State, I think it might be, I can't think of the name, he played at St. Joseph Prep. So you had, and then you have another professional athlete that played football. His son, linebacker, Trotter. His son played at St. Joseph Prep. So this team recruits from all over the country, but they're in Pennsylvania. The quarterback that we played last year we lost to them in the state finals. He lived in New Jersey, but he played in Pennsylvania. Now, how make that make sense to me? I don't get it. And right now in the PA, a lot of coaches are upset because the public schools not getting a chance to shine, get their state titles. More private schools are, more Catholic schools are, because they do more recruiting than public schools. But that just makes what our high school does so amazing, because there's a lot of players that get picked off our team to go somewhere else and play. And at the end of the day, they say, I wish I was a Cougar. I'm like, yeah, you was a Cougar, should have been a Cougar. You should have stayed a Cougar, black and gray every day, all day, twice on Saturdays and Sundays. But it is what it is. So congratulations to the Harrisburg Cougars for great victory this weekend. Them guys really showed some grit, man. I'm telling you, I was really proud of them. Even if they lost, I'd have talked about them again today because of how much grit they played with. Because before we played this team and we lost, I want to say 41 to 17 or something like that. They jumped on us quick. You know what I'm saying? But the cold weather maybe got to them just as well as it got to us. But man, they was hitting. They was hitting, man. They was popping and hitting. So again, congratulations to them. Again, football is in deep in. Today we saw the Panthers let go Frank Rice, which I think I think they were wrong for letting him go, because the guy he's a good coach. I don't think it's his fault that they suck as bad as they suck. They're just not a very good football team. They're just not a very good football team. And they're gonna have to take their lumps before they can get to where they gotta get to. Now, some of you guys may say, well, look at the Texans. Look at what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say, I think sometimes when the players take on the mindset of the coach, it makes a big difference. Anybody disagree with that? I just think they take the mindset of the coach. They lost to Jacksonville.
Rice wanted Bryce Young. That's why he got fired.
And that was a key though. He picked the wrong doggone quarterback. I'm sorry. If you know that, and this is my thing. If I'm Frank Rice and I'm looking at rebuilding the Carolina Panthers, the quarterback for me wasn't in that draft. My quarterback for me is in this draft coming up right here. This is a draft that I want a quarterback in, because you got a couple quarterbacks in here that I honestly believe that's gonna make a lot of noise in the pros. I really do believe. And we'll get into that later on down the line when the draft, well, not before the draft, but we'll talk about the quarterbacks as well. So another coach by the wayside. I'm surprised, you guys, that the Chargers coach is still hanging on. Can somebody explain to me why is he still hanging on? What does he have in the owner?
Naked pictures of him with his mistress.
He got, that's what I'm going to say. He got some naked pictures of what? Everybody on the panel.
But,
go ahead, Curry.
I think the reason that he's still there, some owners don't believe in firing coaches in the middle of the season, so they'll wait till like Monday, and that's when they want to do they fire the guy. But can I back up and get you something to you about the Carolina Panthers, because I kind of feel with you on that one.
Hey, go ahead.
I don't think that Bryce Young is the wrong pick. I just don't think they got nothing for him to work with. I mean, he got no O-line. The guy's constantly running for his life. He got no running back. That running back constantly running for his life. And he got trash receivers to throw to. Now, if you flip the script and put Stroud on Carolina, he's gonna have the same problems.
And
one player is not gonna turn that team around. Carolina had a lot of holes before he got there.
And that's my
plug all them holes with that one quarterback.
And that's my point though. Why go after quarterback if you know you're gonna have all those other issues? You address everything else and then you come back. Because do anybody disagree with me that do you think this class of quarterbacks coming out right now are better than the class of quarterbacks that came out last year?
No. I'm not going to say that they're better because, I'm a Carolina fan.
Well, let me ask you. Let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase.
Drake May has not impressed me.
Let me rephrase that. Do you think the quarterbacks that's coming out this year are more prepared to play at a starting quarterback in the NFL than the quarterbacks from last year? Is that better choice of words?
I don't.
Okay.
All right, later.
So, do you guys think the quarterbacks that came out last year were better?
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
All right. Look at C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. Those guys played under the big stage and the big lights. Drake May and Caleb Williams, they really haven't done that. So I think those guys are more prepared, the two that came out last year, than those two that's coming out next year. They haven't played in the big games.
Okay.
Right.
I kind of agree with you on that. But the reason why I think that these quarterbacks that's coming out this year are more prepared is because most of them are fifth year starters, or they got that COVID year to play. You look at the kid in Washington. You look at Williams. You look at Bo Nix. Now Bo Nix is what, 28 years old, maybe.
Yeah.
He said 25 years in college.
25 years in college.
I'm exaggerating about his age, but he's been around a long time, right? So who's going to take a chance on him coming to the pros to be a quarterback? Now he's in the running for the Heisman, but should he be in the running for the Heisman? I think this is just my opinion. I think if you're not I'm not gonna say redshirt, but I think if you transferred somewhere else where there's more talent to play, and you in the fifth year, I don't think you should be allowed to play. I don't think you should be allowed to be a Bo Nix because he's had success in Auburn. It's just that he just wasn't a good fit for Auburn. He won games in Auburn, but he left there and went somewhere else and played. That's just my opinion. I think that sometimes you need to put a red flag on certain things because when you go back down to history and you look at if he wins a Heisman, you can be like, yo, this dude's 26 years old. He should have won the Heisman because he should be he should be a second year in the pros for real. If you want to be technical about it,
or third.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I think these quarterbacks might be a little bit more prepared than the quarterbacks that came out last year. And Curry, I agree with you on the Carolina thing because if you're gonna build a team, the first thing you're gonna do is get your left tackle, right? You're not even worried about your quarterback. You just got to get that left tackle that's gonna be able to block anybody and everybody. Then you're gonna get that right
quarterback's
tackle.
Gonna be a righty.
Your quarterback's gonna be a righty.
Yeah, if he's gonna be righty, and then you got to get that center. After that, you can plug and play for the guards. Now you can go and look at a quarterback and say, okay, who can I get to be a quarterback that can manage this team the best way I know how and not turn the ball over and keep us in games? And you concentrate more so on defense than you do on offense because you know that you got a young rookie quarterback, right? That's just my thought process. Anybody agree, disagree with that?
I think when you go all the way from 9 to
number one,
you're gonna take a quarterback.
They
could have stayed at 9 and got a
tackle.
But they wanted to get Bryce Young.
But my thing is, only other quarterback that went before Bryce Young was C.J. Stroud, right?
C.J. Stroud went second.
Bryce Young first.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They still would have got him if they'd have stayed where they're at. So they gave up a whole lot to get this guy. So he convinced the owners to give up draft picks to Chicago, Chicago probably got a boatload of draft picks now, who's probably going to end up moving Jay Fields because they're probably going to fire their quarterback, which I don't agree with. I mean, fire their coach. I don't agree with Jay Fields being replaced. Again, like Curry said, you gotta take care of the structure of your house before you start putting furniture in there. You know, you're not gonna put in the glass.
Hey, Kev.
Yes.
You know, kind of being in the backyard of the Panthers up here. It wasn't the coach's decision to move up and give up all those draft picks and get him. That was the owner's decision right there. The owner wanted Bryce Young, and if you go back to the draft, Reich, Frank Reich always liked a bigger quarterback.
Right.
And so he really didn't want Bryce Young. So that's a problem right there. When the owner wants one guy and the coach wants another guy, who's gonna win?
So now my question is, why do you fire?
Frank Reich was in a no-win situation.
So why do you fire the coach? You know what I'm saying? That's like what Bill Parcells said, man. You want to go buy the groceries. I said, you buy the groceries and you tell me how to cook it, or I buy the groceries and you cook it the way you want to cook it. I can't operate like that. I mean, that's to me.
It's the world that the football players and coaches live in. Somebody's got to take the fall on the sword, and it just happens to be Frank Reich. The owner's not doing time himself.
No, he's not. But the thing about it is, I think that when it comes to the next next coach, and coaches talk, and I don't know if he's all in. Is he really that involved in? And actually, the owner didn't he own part of the Steelers?
Yeah, Tepin was
a minority owner.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. That's the problem right there.
It wasn't the Browns part owner of the Steelers too.
He's a problem too. I'm not gonna shy away from that. He's a problem too, because Curry? What's the guy that owns all the car dealerships down there? Last name of Khan, right? Is it Khan or something like that?
That's the Jacksonville owner.
No, and maybe not Khan, but there's a guy in Charlotte that owns a bunch of car dealerships. He may be Asian, some type of Asian. I can't say Oriental because that's a rug. Mo told me that. So he might be Asian, Pakistani, or something like that. He owns a bunch of car dealerships because I know his name came up in wanting to buy the team, and then they came out with, now you need to come up with another $4 million. I mean, another $4 billion before you can bid on the team to buy the team. He said, "Oh, I'm stepping out of it." And that's yeah. Okay, you know who I'm talking about, right?
I feel like that comes to mind now.
Yeah, that's the sneaky stuff. Get Pittsburgh's miners into it. Come on now, stop with the nonsense. Stop with the nonsense, man. Stop with the nonsense.
Why you gotta say Pittsburgh though? Why you gotta say Pittsburgh?
Because that's where them guys came from. I can't even breathe right now. I need something.
But see, with the problem, if you look at the guys like Jerry Jones and David Tepper, Carolina Panthers guy, and Bill Belichick, those guys got too much responsibility. If I was all three of those guys, I would fire myself and hire me a general manager.
Wow.
Bill Belichick.
All right.
Bill Belichick.
All right, real quick, guys.
Mr. 2-9.
Best coach ever, right?
Best coach ever, right?
He's going to get traded.
And nothing without break.
Nothing without break.
So far in Major League Baseball, the notable signings is you got the Cards who added Gray to a reshuffle rotation. Hayward remains with the Dodgers. Tigers signed Keita Medina, a 2-year deal. Marlins traded third baseman to the Diamondbacks. Gibson's heading to St. Louis. Cards reunite with Lynn. Braves land Lopez. Phillies re-sign Nola. Brewers require outfitter for the Yankees. Jake Brewer Is that who it is? Okay.
Power.
Braves, White Sox make pitch swap. Braves pitcher Charlie Morton. So far, so good. This was going on. Dodgers was ready to give Aaron Nola a boatload of money. Say he didn't want to play in Los Angeles. Let's see here. All right, Hedrick Auto Group in Charlotte. Is that who it is, Curry?
Yeah, that okay is a big name down in Charlotte. Okay. Yeah, he owns Mercedes, BMWs, Hondas. He got a list of them, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he is a big name, Hendricks.
Okay. I don't know if that's the guy,
but you know, he came out of that. He came out of that racing world.
So that's not the same person. This guy, he got his money some kind of other way. I can't think of who it is. I know he's a foreigner that moved here and built himself up to big car dealership. Also in baseball news, the word on the street is Shotani will be signing with the Los Angeles Dodgers real soon. They just got to get the ink to paper, and I think it's a done deal. There's also another Japanese pitcher out there that's getting a bid more. I think it's between the Yankees and the Dodgers again for this young man who is outstanding pitcher. But I don't know if nobody knows it, but the Dodgers grabbed the Japanese pitcher at the end of last year. They signed a new pitcher last year, so we should see him coming up. Haven't heard too much about anybody else in baseball news. Baseball news has been really dry lately. So we just want to bring that up to you guys, let you guys know what's going on with that. So I don't know if you guys saw on the In the Zone page. I've been talking about the Florida State Seminoles. Okay. And them being 12-0, and they're number 4 now. And if Alabama were to beat Georgia, now this is what I'm hearing now. If Alabama beats Georgia, Georgia still could be in the top 4. Anybody agree with that?
Being that they haven't lost the game yet, I'd be very surprised if they did get the top 4 with a loss. I think they'll be the top 4, even if they do lose. I think it's going to be.
Okay. Anybody else got any comments on that?
They can't stay in the top 4.
I believe they will stay in the top 4. That's going to happen. Because the impact Alabama has to do other than just one. They need a few scenarios to happen.
Okay. Mo, what you say?
Can't see him in the top 4 if
Alabama ain't in the top 4. If Alabama ain't in the top 4.
There's no way.
Hey, Mo, do me a favor.
There's no way they can do it.
Take over the show. I gotta go get something to clean this stuff up, man. I can't even breathe.
He left the show.
He left the show with people.
We now talking about the Pittsburgh.
Steelers
and the New York Yankees.
We
can put the Boston Celtics on the back.
It's not right away.
Seriously though.
Yeah.
If we're talking about Alabama, you have so many scenarios you're talking about. You cannot say that Alabama. If Alabama beats Georgia, Alabama has to be in. If Georgia has to be in. Unless everybody else loses. I doubt we see Washington lose.
But they could.
Michigan could lose too. Florida State could lose as well.
That's
the only way I can see is if everybody drops. Like I was telling Kev last week. If anybody loses now, last week or this week, that's like your championship. Already. You lose games now, you're out of the past year.
That's the best year.
Anybody else want to speak on that?
You lose now, and that could cost you, they get to the championship next. You're on this off for the second year. So everyone now is finally important.
I get you.
I'll say this: if Alabama beats Georgia, Georgia should not remain in the top 4. As much as I despise Alabama, it would be a disservice to Alabama because when Alabama was in the top 4, they lost to a lesser ranked team, they got knocked all the way out of the top 10. So it wouldn't be fair to knock them out, not knock Georgia out.
So let me ask you a question, Curry. If Alabama, if the game close, do you think if Alabama wins, the game's close, do you think that Georgia should still stay there?
If who wins?
If Alabama beats Georgia and the game's close, let's say Alabama wins. Alabama wins with a last-second field goal. Do you think that Georgia should still stay?
No, I don't think Georgia should stay because I think the other team should move up from where they are into that number 4. Florida State should get back in there, and whoever else behind them.
So we would. So if Georgia loses, you have Michigan, Washington, Florida State, and Oregon, and I'm gonna say this: Michigan
Oregon plays Washington.
Oregon plays Washington.
So one of them is going to be out.
So one of them is going to be out.
Oh yes. So, wow. All right, Matthew, talk to us about Washington, Oregon. What's going on with that? What do you think's going to happen?
Well, there's a lot of factors to this and more than the playoff and contention. As you mentioned earlier about the Heisman runner, we got Jaden Daniels at 1, Nix at 2, and Penix at 3. But with this game coming up on Friday night, you can basically wipe off Jane Daniels off of the Heisman, and basically with the bowl coming up, if Washington does beat Oregon, we'll more than likely see a rematch of 1991 when they played Michigan in the Rose Bowl. But if Oregon wins, you're more than likely see them at 4 instead of 3, unless upsets were to happen. So it's going to be a very tight, very close game.
The only team to me is safe is Florida State, for real. Michigan, even though they're playing Iowa got a pretty good defense. So that could go either way. But let me ask you guys a question. I watched some of the I'll say Michigan game.
Yeah.
Did Ohio State give the game away, or did Michigan just take it from them?
I think
Well, they
Michigan
took it.
Yeah, Michigan
It was a pretty tight game, but I think Michigan
Okay.
took it.
Okay. So
Yeah, I feel like Michigan took it away from them.
okay.
Um,
Because I saw them when they drove
there
down the
was
field.
one play in that
Go ahead, Matthew.
game to where it was a passing touchdown, I believe, and they had to do a review, and everyone thought that it would be Ohio State. Well, after they reviewed it, but it was confirmed as a touchdown, even though the Michigan player didn't have control of the ball.
Oh,
The helmet touched the ground, which made it a dead play
so it was some controversy.
into a touchdown.
So it was some controversy in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Robert said Michigan played better, but Vegas had their hands in it. He wouldn't know about Vegas because he's a better. I wouldn't put that past Vegas. So Mo, I said I think the safest team in the top 4 to me is Florida State, and you shook your head to that. No, who do you think is safest?
There's nobody safe, man.
There's
They
nobody
still got to play a game.
They still got to play a game.
They still got to play Louisville.
They still got to play Louisville.
Louisville's
Louisville's been good most of the year.
Florida State hasn't looked good
Florida
since they
State
lost
hasn't
their
looked
quarterback.
good since they lost their quarterback.
So they just barely won.
They just barely won the last.
And Louisville's
Okay.
a much better team.
Louisville's a much better team.
I did forget about them losing the quarterback. Louisville lost again, so they're 10-2. Only thing they can do.
Now
is be
they're
a
gonna
spoiler.
now they're gonna
try to put them out.
The only thing they can do is be a spoiler right now. So if it was 6 teams, we would have it would be nice. Oregon and Ohio State would be in. Then we would be talking about Texas, Alabama, maybe Missouri getting in. But next year it goes to 12. Is it 12 teams?
Yep.
So if we went to 12 teams right now, you have Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Penn State, Missouri, Alabama, Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, Florida State, Washington, Michigan, and Georgia in that.
Wow.
So now
that's a lot of talent.
Now my question though, if you're going with 12 teams, when's the playoffs going to start? Because Penn State just added they just added USC two of the Pac-10 teams in their conference, and they got 2 bye weeks. So I'm a little confused. Will a conference game be considered a playoff game?
So when I look at the future schedules for next season, everyone's regular season will end after November 30th. So my guess would be we're probably looking at kind of like when the bowl games start, and then so like you still have your regular bowl games, but then you'd have that playoffs in that evening.
So
by the time we get down to the final 2, it would be at the same time as usual.
Okay, so you're saying that the top 10 teams or top 12 teams will play in at least they could play in almost 3 bowl games? Is that about right?
Yeah, I think the first 2 still get a bye.
Yeah.
Oh, the first 2 get a bye.
Yeah, then 3 plays 12. 4 plays
12. 4 players.
I think something like that.
Okay.
Or it could be his first 4 get a bye. Then 5 plays 12. 6 plays 12. 6 plays 11. That could be like they do in college basketball.
Okay.
Now the tough thing with the playoffs, with it going to 12 is you don't have a Power 5 conference anymore. Because they were talking about if you win the conference champion, you automatically get a bid in that fight.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that's still on the table or if it's official, but they've been discussing that for the last 6 months.
So if you win your conference, then you get an automatic bid, or is that what you're saying?
Yes, but it'd be like a lower seed.
Okay.
Like let's say Georgia was number 1. They get that 1 seed. So let's say I was 20th, but they upset their away team and that championship game, then they probably get like 11 for 12.
Okay. Well, that gives them guys something to play for. Yeah.
Just saying, I actually looked it up. One would play the winner of 8 and 9. 4 would play the winner of 5 and 12. 3 would play the winner of 6 and 11. 2 would play the winner of 7 and 8. So just like college basketball.
Send that link to me when you get a chance, if you can. Just put it in the inbox. And one thing I like about this, guys, is that with 12 teams in it, ain't nobody taking off in the bowl games. Everybody's going to play the bowl games because now they got something to play for. So you're going to get guys that are going to play in a real game. All right, guys, that's the link. That's the link right there for that right there. And I'm gonna put it. See, let me go back to that right there. And I'm gonna paste and copy that. I'm gonna paste and copy that later on and do that. Look like we lost Lou for a second. I think Lou might be coming back on, but he's all good. So that makes this makes it really interesting now, because you look at somebody like James Madison, who's 11-1. If they continue to win next year, they got to be They got to be ranked high. Look at Toledo, who's 11.
They are going to a bowl game.
Yeah, 11-1. Look at Toledo, 11-1. SMU is 10-2. You only got few teams like nobody in the top 25 has 4 losses. They got Tennessee over on the coaches poll. That's because they just feel sorry for Tennessee. And Oregon, they got Oregon in the coaches poll. They got Oregon State and Tennessee. But I can understand because they played a bunch of teams that probably were ranked, and that's why they're probably in that situation right now. So we should be hearing about the bowl games coming up real soon.
It'll probably be Sunday.
Okay, Sunday. So let's look forward to that. Let's look forward to that coming on. That should be exciting. Is anything else we gotta talk about college basketball, fellas?
Sure.
Okay, let's move on to the NFL and the terrible towel that he's throwing around. Buffalo, I don't understand how you can be a plus 101 differential and be 6-6. Is they not playing? Is they not playing no defense in Buffalo? This is crazy. Buffalo points for is 328. Points against is 227. That's incredible. That is incredible. Wow. But they're 6-6. Still,
they blew out the easy teams.
Here we go again with the Steelers Eagles Super Bowl. It's not going to stop, man. Robert, you've been waiting a long time to say this. First it was the Steelers against the 49ers for the 6th Super Bowl, and then it was Steelers against somebody else for 5 Super Bowls. Stats don't matter, points do. That's true. That's very true. But looking in the AFC East, Kerry, them Dolphins playing really good football right now. They're probably the healthiest team right now in the division. Do you see anybody else healthier than them guys?
What are you talking about? The Patriots are very healthy.
They're one of the most healthiest teams in the NFL right now.
The Dolphins.
They lost Jalen Phillips, but they got some back. Their bench is strong in that position.
Who's out for the Patriots?
Who's out for the Patriots? I said the most healthiest team.
Yeah, they healthy. They just suck.
Buffalo is. I don't know if it didn't work for Buffalo to try to do what the Rams did. I'm gonna say that they spent a lot of money to bring in Von Miller. He gets towards ACL, comes back, and he's still not the same. And we know when you tear your ACL or your MCL, you're not good for that year you come back. You're still not 100%. I watched Kyler Murray yesterday against the Rams, and he got tangled up into being tackled, and he just fell down, and he got it with a limp. And I'm like, and the thing about it is there was scrub time, so they was not going to win. I understand what type of reps you're trying to get the guy. If you want him to last, rest of the season, if you're trying to trade him or whatever you're trying to do with him, he shouldn't be playing in that game because of the seriousness of the injury that he had before. I just want to bring it up there about the ACL. Baltimore is 9-3. They have, they're the number 1 seed right now. And
they do it the hard way too.
And I'm gonna say this: I want Baltimore to have the number 1 seed because if they do what they did last time, they're gonna lose they're gonna lose it in the playoff game. Last time they had the number 1 seed, them guys sat for 3 weeks and came back and tried to win and lost. So I'm okay with that. Pittsburgh finally got over 400 yards of rushing. Finally, since 19 win.
400 yards rushing.
400 yards of offense.
Yeah, that's what I said. 400 yards of offense since when? 19 what?
2020, dude.
2020, dude. Stop it.
4 years. It's been 4 years since y'all did that.
I didn't know we went 2024.
I didn't know we went 2024.
4 years. I'm just rounding off. 4 years, 6 months, 7 days, and 44 seconds. I mean, 44 minutes and 12 seconds.
We know you're a hater.
You can just stop. You can just stop.
When's the next time y'all gonna see
200 yards?
Cleveland's in trouble right now. Quarterback got a concussion. Myles Garrett got hurt. He should be able to play. Cincinnati. So I can almost throw my predictions away because Cincinnati's gonna mess it up because I picked the whole division to make the playoffs. Cincinnati's not gonna do it now. I don't think they can do it without Joe Burrows. They're in trouble. Jacksonville escaped the Houston Texans. The coach know who they are. They won three in a row. Jacksonville has kind of took control of the division, guys. They're 8-3. They're 2 games above everybody. Houston's already played them. Tennessee folding up. Curry had sent me an inbox one day and told me that the Patriots were interested in. Patriots was interested in the coach for the Tennessee Titans to go coach up in New England. I wonder, are they going to trade? Is that going to be a trade, or is they going to trade Belichick somewhere else? I think they're going to trade him somewhere else because he want to go somewhere that.
I don't think Mike Vrabel would take that Patriots job simply because I don't know this for a fact. But I just think that he probably would have played, since he played for Belichick so long, I think he probably has a lot more respect for him than that. He would probably not go in there and just undermine him by taking his job.
Well, I think they might have
played for Cowher longer than they played for Belichick.
But I think they might have a conversation because you don't give Belichick a contract extension knowing the rumors is that he's going to be traded to another team. We don't know where. We do have predictions up here where he wants to go. Robert Connolly, you want to give us a prediction of where you think Belichick may end up being traded to next year? Just give it to us in the chat, and then we'll put it up on the board, see how close you are to being right. So that's Tennessee's probably moving on. If he goes, that's fine. Kansas City wins this weekend, but it was an ugly win. Jacksonville, no, I don't think he's going to Jacksonville. I think they in love with that. That coach down there is God for them.
He's safe.
Yeah, he's safe. I think he's safe. Denver has won 5 in a row. And they've beaten 2 teams. They beat 2 teams with winning records. They beat the Chiefs with a winning record. The Bills had a winning record. The Vikings, I think, had a winning record, and the Browns had a winning record. So is he turning it around? What is going on? Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. I'm gonna say that. But I think the buck stops here next week for the Broncos. They're in the hunt. Vegas is 5-7. I think the love for Pierce is going away. I still think that he should have opportunity to coach that team going on because they like him as a coach. Well, we know what happened to the last 3 coaches that coached there that was black. They got rid of him and got somebody else. The Los Angeles Chargers, I don't know why this man still got a job, guys. 4-7, and they was picked. Some people predict them to go to Super Bowl.
Forget that.
Yeah. It's the handwritings on the wall. You got to.
Yeah, well, something picked the Jets too, didn't it?
Yeah.
I did. 4 plays into the season. That changed.
Yeah, sure enough did. Detroit laid an egg on Thanksgiving Day against Green Bay. I did not see that coming. I don't know about nobody else. Detroit, I'm gonna tell you, Curry, let me ask you a question. We're about the same age, I think. Does the Detroit Lions remind you of the Cardiac Kids with Brian Sipes and them guys? how they should come back on team. Does Detroit kind of remind you of that team?
Which team you said was called the Cardiac Kids?
The Cleveland Browns, when they had Brian Sipe.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could see some similarities there. Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
Okay, I'm just asking a question here. I think Robert Connolly could contest to that too. He was back in that time when Turkey Jones body slammed Terry Bradshaw, and Terry Bradshaw was on the ground like doing like that. Yeah, that's because they clotheslined Brian Sipe, and Turkey Jones came and gave him a 2-piece. Yeah. Atlanta Falcons 5-6, Saints 5-6. The Buccaneers are 4-7. I think that we all thought maybe the Buccaneers were probably the cream of the crop here, but they've lost 2 in a row. Atlanta Falcons are 5-6. The Saints are 5-6. I think that depends up in the air.
Who's that quarterback?
What quarterback?
Tampa Bay.
Baker Mayfield. But he's not the reason why they're losing, though. He's not the reason why they're losing. He's playing.
Who's the reason then?
No, they just don't got no player. They ain't got no playmakers. That's their problem. Let's look at his stats.
They said that coach is on the hot seat.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think he might be serious.
No playmakers?
Baker Mayfield. Wait a minute, Baker Mayfield. They don't. Who's a running back?
Rashad White is having a great season. He wasn't doing it because they weren't giving him the ball.
Wait a minute. We in week what? What week are we in? What week we in?
I think this is week 12 upcoming.
Okay, week 12.
Week 13.
Week 13.
Week 13, and he has 559 yards. So whose fault that he wasn't getting the ball, Mo? That's the offensive coordinator.
It's been bad. Yeah, they're letting Baker cook.
They're firing him.
And it ain't sweet
tarts that they get.
Baker has attempted. He completed 246 passes out of 380, 64.7% completion ratio. He's threw for 2,588 yards, an average of 6 yards. He's averaging 6.8 yards a pass. He's averaging 235 yards a game. He's got longest pass was 70 yards, touchdown 17, interceptions 7, sacks is 26. And SYL, what is that? SYL is sacks yards lost 137.
Sack lost.
Passer rating is 91.6. So he got 17 touchdowns to 7 interceptions.
How many fumbles he got?
It don't say.
Yeah.
It don't say how many fumbles he had.
I thought it was
more turnovers.
Yeah, you would have thought it would be. So let me do this. Let me go back and look at somebody. I'm gonna pull up somebody else's stats. I ain't gonna tell you who it is. We can compare.
7 fumbles already. But he's only lost 2. No.
Okay.
No, he's lost all 7.
Okay, so let's look at.
This doesn't make sense though. Why is it saying
lost?
So I'm looking at somebody else's stats. All right, 11 games. Completion is 194 yards. 194 completions. Attempts 314. Completion is 61.8. Threw for 2,000 yards, average 6.4 yards an average. Throws he averaged 181 yards a game. Longest pass was 72 yards. He had 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 23 sacks, 173 yards lost, and a quarterback rating of 81.2. Would you take that? Is that good stats?
That sounds like Kenny Pickett.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yes, it is Kenny Pickett. It is Kenny Pickett. So you compare them two together. He's doing what he Baker's doing what he gotta do. But Baker's not
went up well last week. He should have had a touchdown pass.
He should have had a touchdown pass.
And Baker's he's not gonna get that big he's not gonna get that big contract. So Philly 10-1, they're probably the worst 10-1 team I've seen in a long time. I like Jalen Hurts, but man, they find ways to win, but they're ugly. But they're keeping it afloat. They won 5. They won 5 in a row. Dallas is 8-3. They still haven't beat nobody with 500 yet. People say you play who's on your schedule, right? But that's been a scenario for the Cowboys for the last 3 years, is that they can't beat nobody over 500, and when they do play somebody over 500 in the playoffs, they end up losing. So my thing is, I understand your reasoning of that, but if you win a division or you get in the playoffs, and you play a team that's above 500, what's that saying about you as a team? Because the team that you play in the playoffs are above 500, right? They got to be above 500, unless you're playing a division team that has a losing record. Unless you play
in the NFC South.
Exactly. Carolina is who they are, 1-10. San Francisco, I think, probably is the most complete team, 8-3. But we saw what happens when he don't have his weapons. He becomes a Clark Kent behind the center. Again, I think that the backup quarterback can do exactly what he's doing right now, managing the game. Seattle 6-5. They lost 2 in a row. They lost to the Rams twice this season. I know this, and Matthew, I know that's your team, man, but I'm not sold on them yet. It's something's missing on that team. The Rams 5-6. They won 2 in a row. They're just staying afloat for whatever reason it may be. If they lose next week to the Browns, they'll be 5-7. You can pretty much say that they're done because they're not going to go 10-7. Arizona Cardinals are who they are, 10-2. So let's look at this real quick, guys. The Patriots, the Bengals, Tennessee Titans, Los Angeles Chargers, Washington Commanders, Chicago Bears, Carolina Panthers, and Arizona Cardinals all have something in common. They're all in last place. So let me ask you guys a question. In the NBA, they have the balls, right, to pick the number 1 pick, which I think has been fixed since I can remember. Do you think the NFL should go to that as well? Because you see, tanking is not helping the team out. Because if you we knew Carolina actually tanked last year. They got rid of everybody that was good, and when they got rid of McCaffrey, they ended up winning the next 2 games. They was in the playoffs. So they're like, "Oh, you trying to tank on us? Nah, we're not tanking on us." So they got to the point where they almost made the playoffs, and they stunk it up after that point. But do you allow that to happen? Because right now, Carolina is number 1 pick. Arizona will be number 2. Chicago will be number 3. Chargers and Texans will have to flip a coin. No, I'm sorry. New England's 2-9. So they're 2-9. So they haven't played that 12 and 11. So they need to play another game. But right now, it would be Arizona. Then it would be New England, right? Then it would be the Chicago Bulls. Okay, I'm sorry, Carolina would be first, then it'd be Arizona, and in that order. So again, Curry, like we were talking earlier, if you Carolina
doesn't have a first-round pick.
Oh, they traded a first-round pick to Chicago, right? Oh, yes. My Lord, let me look at something here real quick. Mo, can you look up the if the draft was today, who would draft where? So if I'm Chicago and I can fill the holes I need to fill. Okay, so we know Chicago got draft picks. So do anybody believe the coach keeps his job? Number 1. Anybody believe that?
Coach, I don't.
Okay, so the coach goes. I
think Harbaugh is going there.
do Jay Fields keep his job as a quarterback there?
Josh Fields.
No, in my opinion, I think if I'm Chicago,
Go ahead.
I make a trade with the Giants and I take up Tommy DeVito. Let me tell you, that sucker, he did very well this past Sunday.
So are you picking up Tommy DeVito to be the starter or to be the backup?
What's making him the starter?
Justin Fields is the starter.
The way he played this past Sunday.
And the backup looks good.
And the backup looks good.
They won 10-7, and they beat Washington 13-19. Now we're talking about two teams that's bottom up. Patriots got two quarterbacks on equal one. Washington traded all their picks. Traded all the draft, all the capital that they had defensively. So they're throwing in the towel. I'm not that convinced in Vito. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see him being the savior for Carolina. For Chicago. All right, Mo, what you got for us?
No.
All right, so first would be the Bears. Second is the Cardinals. Third is the Patriots. Fourth is the Bears. Fifth is the Commanders. Giants are 6. Tampa
So
Bay
the Bears
seven.
have
Tampa Bay is 7.
so Bears got 2 draft picks on the first 5.
First 4.
First 4.
First one. So how we gonna
because they get Carolina.
Because they get Carolinas.
So Mo, let me ask you a question. What you gonna do with those? You gonna flip them, or you gonna keep them?
Keeping them. They got so many holes on that
They got so many holes
team.
on that team.
Well,
They gotta get a
that's what I'm
defensive
saying.
lineman.
They get a defensive lineman
Okay, so do you
And a wide receiver. I get a wide
and a
receiver.
wide receiver. I get a wide receiver.
Marvin Harrison?
Yeah.
I'll buy
You
that.
put them
But
on the
we don't
opposite
know
side of
quarterback.
DJ Moore with Justin Fields. I think they like Justin
I
Fields.
think they like Justin Fields.
And he still
Okay,
has
so
got
you saying
And he still has got
so you saying Justin Fields stays and they draft
Marvin Harrison.
Harrison.
and
I still think Arizona's going to get
I
first
still
though,
think Arizona's going to get first though.
and they might take Marvin Harrison. That's the
They might
problem.
take
If they take
That's
Marvin
the
Harrison,
problem.
then you drop
If they
down.
take
You
Marvin
drop
Harrison,
down.
then you drop down.
but Chicago's first, right?
Right
Oh,
now.
so you think
Right now.
you think Arizona gonna be the number? They're gonna get the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
They play in a harder
They play in a
harder division.
harder
Carolina
division.
can still win their division.
Carolina can still win their division.
What?
Carolina's only 4 games out of the
Carolina's
division.
only 4 games out of the division.
Carolina can still win that division.
So they're gonna go 7-10.
Carolina with the new coach
Carolina
could
with
win
the new
2 or
coach
3
could
games.
win 2 or 3 games.
I'm just saying they get hot.
they get hot.
This you talking about this year?
I'm talking about this year.
I'm talking
I ain't
about this
saying like
year.
I ain't broadcasting like I did last year.
broadcasting
But
like
I
did
told you
last
the
year.
2 teams that are going to be good last year.
Teams that are going to be good.
I told you
They would be
Detroit and
8-10.
Jacksonville were going to get a lot better.
Jacksonville were going to get a lot better.
Yo, they'll be 8-10.
I'm not saying they're going to win the next
I'm not
7
saying
games,
they're gonna win the
but
next
they could
7
actually
games.
they could win the division if they did that.
Man.
Huh? Mo, come on.
These teams are terrible, dog.
These teams are terrible, dog.
It's not. I mean, it does.
8-10 is gonna win that division.
8-10 is going to win that division.
8-10. Okay, let's
It's
go
gonna
back.
7-10
Well,
No, he's
or
let's
8-9.
go back and look at this.
8-9.
8-9. 8-9.
Let's go. Let's look at this. Okay, as Atlanta goes to the Jets. It's cold weather. They'll probably lose that game, right? Let's go. Okay, Falcons. They're 5-6 right now. Okay, do they beat the Jets? Anybody think they're gonna beat the Jets?
No.
Okay.
No.
Do they beat? They got Tampa Bay at home. Do they beat Tampa Bay?
Doesn't matter. It's one of them got to win.
Doesn't matter. It's one of them got to win.
We're talking about the Falcons right now.
Yeah, they'll beat the Jets.
Oh, so we got one person say they beat the Jets. We got one person say they didn't. They don't. So we're gonna throw that up as a tie. You're gonna do the Jets as a tie.
Ain't no time, man. Let me say this: the Jets. You got the Jets. The Jets is sitting there. What's their record? 4 and what?
They're 4-7.
What is it?
4-7. 4-7, I think.
Okay. They should be 2-9.
Okay.
Because the Giants, all they had to do was kick the field goal. Kick the field goal, and they win the game. And there's no way the Jets should have beat Buffalo other than the quarterback turned the ball over 4 times that first game when they lost Aaron Rodgers.
So he convinced me.
They should have a 2 win.
Okay, because he convinced me that the Jets are going to lose. So that means he convinced me. Can you convince me that they're going to win, Mo?
But you said Atlanta. You just said
Atlanta. You just said
No, I'm talking about Atlanta because they're in first place right now. They're 5 and 6.
You said Atlanta.
Yeah, you said Atlanta.
Atlanta's got to go to the Jets.
Atlanta's got to go to the Jets.
A team that plays in a dome.
A team that plays in a dome.
Got to go and play outside.
That convinced me they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. They're gonna play now. They got to play Tampa.
That plays a good defense.
He can't win on the road. He can't win on the road.
So Buccaneers lose. They beat the Buccaneers.
They're at home versus Tampa Bay. They'll beat Tampa Bay.
They'll beat Tampa Bay at home.
Okay. They're at Carolina. Is that a win?
See, I got Carolina winning that game. I got Carolina getting better now.
Okay. They play the Colts.
Carolina has a good defense.
Carolina has a good defense.
Atlanta has they play the Colts at home.
Number 7.
So Mo, do they beat the Colts?
No, the Colts are gonna win that game.
Colts are getting much better now.
Okay. They at the Bears. Do they win that game?
They should win. They should beat the Bears.
They should beat the Bears.
Bears got nothing to play for.
They're at the Saints. Do they beat the Saints?
The Saints winning that.
Do they beat the Saints?
Nope. Because it's at the Saints.
Okay, that's 7 and 10. That's 7 and 10. I don't see Carolina winning 7 in a row.
I'm just saying they could. I was just joking about that. I gotta set the record straight. Mike Vrabel played 7 years in New England. He only played 5 in Pittsburgh. So I was wrong. I take it back. I was wrong.
Okay.
I was wrong.
Okay.
He won 3 championships as a
pack.
Okay, so right now, Lou, who's going to Super Bowl?
Well, I think it's going to be the Chiefs and the Eagles. And it looks right now. I also think the players have been, kind of, off rhythm. I think they played around. They kind of work me, but I do have the 49ers, going early in the year, but the way they have, been just holding. I think maybe the Eagles today.
Who wins between the Chiefs and the Eagles?
I hate to say it, but the Eagles got to get their revenge. Little bit of time win this one ridiculous.
Okay, I'm gonna put that on the board. Mo, right now, who you got?
I got week 1 revenge game. Steelers versus the 49ers.
In the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl. Our offense looked a lot better. We're not healthy right now. We don't have Mika.
Y'all played the Cincinnati Bengals.
Dude. Cincinnati has a good defense.
Do they have a better defense than the Browns?
Of course not. But at the same time, we have Matt Canada 2 weeks ago. And I hate it. I hate it because I was not a Matt Canada. I was a Matt Canada fan. But it proves that he had a good offense last year. He just was not a good play caller.
Steelers against the 49ers is the Super Bowl.
Steelers versus the 49ers in the Super Bowl.
Who wins?
49ers. I ain't gonna say be that. I just think we match up well with the other AFC. Not with the NFC.
I'm going to throw you a curveball. Jacksonville versus Dallas.
All right, that's a curveball.
Who wins?
Jacksonville minus 2 goals.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
I respect that.
Jacksonville is like one of those interesting teams right now.
Curry, who you got?
That's tough right there, but I'm going with my boys because they got the number 6 defense and number 1 offense, and there's no Joe Burrow, there's no that guy out there in Buffalo, I forgot his name already, and then there's no Deshaun Watson. So the only 2 people in the way right there is going to be Baltimore and possibly Kansas City. But I can tell you right now, if the Dolphins get the home field advantage, I think they have the easiest road.
Okay. So who are they going to play?
I would say I think Philly make it back there.
And who wins?
Philly.
Okay. I wish Dana was on the show. Okay, now here's my predictions. All right. I don't know why I want to say Detroit so bad. I really don't know why. I just don't know why.
Outside shot.
I gotta go to 49ers versus the Miami Dolphins. And the Dolphins wins this.
Dana just loves you to
Dana
death.
just loves you to death. Detroit,
I don't believe that.
like what Mo is saying, playing in that dome. The problem is they're going to have to come out of that dome to go and play on the road, and that's going to. And they could win a game, but I don't think they can win. I don't think they can win 2 games on the road.
Yeah, and see that's the only issue I have with them is they're not good on the road. Wow. So that's my predictions right there. We got bunch stuff on the board. All right, guys. Real quick before we got 15 minutes left. Mo, you want to do your Black History first, and I'll do mine next.
Sure. Mine is a little sentiment. So my person was born on November 29th. He is best known as Jackie James Thurgood, but most people call him T'Challa. Chadwick Boseman, people. Born November 29th, 1977, is an American actor known for his portrayals of real-life figures such as Jackie Robinson in 42, James Brown and Get On Up, Thurgood Marshall as Thurgood Marshall and his portrayal of the superhero Black Panther and the Marv and Marvel. Boseman was born and raised in Anderson, South Carolina, to Carolyn and Leroy Boseman, both African American. According to Boseman, DNA testing has indicated that his ancestors were Yoruba people from Nigeria and Limbo people from Sierra Leone. His mother was a nurse and his father worked at the textile factory, keeping an upholstery business as well. He graduated from high school in 1995. In his junior year, he wrote his first play, Crossroads, staged it at the school after a classmate was shot and killed. He attended college at Howard. Graduated in 2000 with a Bachelor's of Fine Arts in Direction. One of his teachers was Felicia Rashad. Who we talked about last week with Ahmad Rashad. Who became his mentor. She helped raise funds so that Boseman and some classmates could attend the Oxford Midsummer Program at the British American Drama Academy in London. So most people know a lot about Bozeman because what they've seen, but you probably don't know. He got his first television role in 2003, and an episode of Third Watch. I used to love that show back in the day. His early work included episodes in the series Law and Order, CSI New York, and ER. He also continued to write plays. With his first script for Deep Azure, performed at the Congo Square Theater Company in Chicago. Some people need to put themselves on mute if they're going to cough in the middle of my talk. I tell you.
I apologize. I got sinus issues.
I'm just messing with you. Most important thing to know about Bozeman, though, he got his real big in Jackie. So that was his first starring role. But then everybody's just like, he everybody. He James Brown. He Thurgood Marshall. He Black Panther. Get up. That boy bad. Dealer from ESPN. That boy bad.
So anyway. Let me ask you a question.
Anyway.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
What role do you think he played the best?
Oh, definitely T'Challa. No question. He was well as all the other three. But think about it. You got everybody. We actually have a black superhero now. Who everybody sees as Chadwick Boseman.
I get that, but man,
the other three people were real.
That Thurgood Marshall was. The only thing he wasn't light skinned.
I gotta say this, and I ain't trying to be funny or nothing. But after that movie, black people started to want to go to Wakanda.
Yeah, they wearing African garb to the to the movies and everything.
No, I'm serious though. It's sad that a lot of people thought it was a real country.
That's because people don't read. That's why we're here to educate them.
Exactly. So he died. He was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer in 2016, which eventually progressed to stage 4 in 2020. He never spoke about it. I remember looking at a picture of him and also a linebacker from the Steelers. Brian Shazier. He reminded me so much of my dad, the way he looked. He was so skinny. People were talking about he was on drugs because that's the biggest thing that people think about when you think about somebody getting skinny in Hollywood. So he had multiple surgeries. He had chemotherapy. He continued to work, but he ended up passing away August 28, 2020. But the reason I did him was because first of all, he betrayed Jackie Robinson. I can't think of another superhero. I say superhero. Any other actor was more humble than Chadwick Boseman was. So he was definitely right. And he created T'Challa. That they actually killed the character instead of making him a person. He was that good of a person. That's how you know when you're good. When nobody else can play your character. And he ain't from Philly. You know I gotta say it, dog. I hate Philly.
Period. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my
the T. Period. With a T at the end.
My person I have is Garrett Morgan. Garrett Morgan blazed a trail for African American inventors with his patents, including those of a hair straightening product, a breathing device, and revamping the sewing machine and improving the traffic signal. Who was Garrett Morgan? With only an elementary school education, Garrett Morgan began his career as a sewing machine mechanic. He went on to patent several inventions, including improving sewing machines and traffic signals, and hair straightening products and respiratory devices that would later provide the blueprint of World War I gas mask. The inventor died on July 27th, 1963 in Cleveland, Ohio. G.A. Morgan Hair Refining Company followed the momentum of his business success. Morgan patents sewing machine and would soon pave the way for financial freedom. Albert, in a rather unorthodox way. In 1909, Morgan was working with a sewing machine and his newly opened tailor shop, a business he had opened with his wife Mary, who had experience as a seamstress when he encountered a wool fabric that had been scorched by a sewing machine needle. It was a common problem at the time since sewing machines needles ran at such a high speed. In hopes of elevating the problem, evaluating the problem, Morgan experimented with a chemical solution in an effort to reduce the friction created by the needle, and subsequently noticed that the hair of the cloth was straightening. After trying his solution to good effect on neighborhood's dogs' fur, Morgan finally tested the concoction on himself. When that worked, he quickly established the G.A. Morgan Hair Refining Company and sold the cream to African Americans. The company was incredibly successful, bringing Morgan financial security, allowing him to pursue other interests. Inventing breathing device. In 1914, Morgan patented a breathing device of a safety hood, providing its awareness with a safety breathing experience that presents presence of smoke, gas, and other pollutants. Morgan worked hard to market the device, especially to fire departments, often personally demonstrating its reliability in a fire. Morgan breathing device became the prototype and for the gas mask during the World War I, protecting soldiers from toxic gases used in warfare. The invention earned him the first prize in second international exposure safety and sanitation in New York City. There was some resonance for Morgan's device among buyers, particularly in the South, where racial tension remained parable despite advancements in African American rights. In an effort to counteract the resistance to his product, Morgan hired a white actor to pose as an inventor during the presentation of breathing device. Morgan Wood posed as the inventor's sidekick, disguised as a Native American man named Big Chief Mason, and wearing his hood, entering areas otherwise unsafe for breathing. The tactic was successful. Sales of the device were brisk, especially for firefighters and rescue workers. That makes no sense to me. If you got something that can help you, you wouldn't buy it from an African American because he made it. That's just asinine to me. That really is.
Hey.
That's just.
People don't know that they still on Obamacare when they have the Affordable Care Act.
Cleveland tunnel explosion. In 1916, the city of Cleveland was drilling a new tunnel under Lake Erie for a fresh water supply. Workers hit a pocket of natural gas, which resulted in a huge explosion and trapped workers underground amidst suffocating fumes and dust. When Morgan heard about the explosion, he and his brother put the breathing devices, made their way to the tunnel, and entered as quickly as possible. The brothers managed to save 2 lives and recover 4 bodies before the rescue effort was shut down. Despite his heroic efforts, publicity that Morgan garnered from the incident hurt sales. The public was now fully aware that Morgan was an African American, and many refused to purchase his product. Adding to the deterrent, neither of the inventors nor his brother were fully recognized for the heroic efforts at Lake Erie. Possibly another effect was racial discrimination. Morgan was nominated for the Carnegie Medal for his efforts, which ultimately was chosen to receive an award. Additionally, some reports of the explosion named others as the rescuers. Later invention of traffic light. While the public lacked of knowledge for Morgan's and his brother's role for Cleveland explosion and undoubtedly disheartening, Morgan was a visionary inventor and observer who focused on fixing problems, and soon turned his attention to all kinds of things, from hats to belts to fastenings to car parts. The first black man in Cleveland to own a car, Morgan worked on his mechanic skills and developed a friction drive clutch. In 1923, he created a new kind of traffic signal, one that was a warning light to alert drivers that they would need to stop after witnessing a carnage of accidents at particular problematic intersections in the city. Morgan quickly acquired patents for the traffic signal version of the modern-day 3-way traffic light in the United States, Britain, and Canada, but eventually sold the rights to General Electric for $40,000. Wow. Yo, that's amazing to me. He saved lives because he's black. They don't want to buy the product. Is that the same thing as being prejudiced and a black person trying to save your life? You don't want to get CPR. Is it the same thing? Is that kind of like
remember, that goes back to the George Jefferson episode, where the white dude was was racist. It almost died in George Jefferson Stadium. I wish you'd have let me die.
I wish you'd have let me die.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that right there. Basketball. We didn't really get to it right now. I need to know more about this. Now I'm now.
Can we say one thing?
Can we say one thing?
Go ahead.
The 76ers are waxing the Lakers. I hate both of them, so I hope they both lose. But to see the Lakers get waxed is always a good thing.
It's always a good thing.
61-39.
That bad.
Wax.
Wax.
That's in LA, right?
Nah, that's in Philly.
It's in LA.
That's in Philly.
I thought the game was in LA. Wow. There's more to this story when it comes to this in-season tournament. Now, like the Celtics are 13-4. They lost to Orlando Magic, which they've had problems with Orlando Magic for the last 2 years for some reason or another. But they play the Bulls, which is one of the teams in their bracket. In order for them to get the number 1 seed or make it to the tournament or the wild card, they have to beat the Chicago Bulls by 22 points or more. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't get this this in-season tournament stuff, man. But it is what it is, man. But right now, in the Eastern Conference, in the Eastern Conference, Boston is leading the division at 13-4. You got Orlando 12-5, impressive. Remember I told y'all I said Orlando gonna be a team to watch. No, I'm sorry, I said the Pacers, but I did say Orlando too. Milwaukee Bucks are 12-5, Sixers are 11-5, Pacers are 9-6. Miami Heat have crawled back in this thing. There's 10-7. If the season were to end right now, the teams that gets in the playoffs, Louis, would be your New York Knicks, Cleveland Cavaliers, Atlanta Hawks, and the Brooklyn Nets. The Detroit Pistons has 2 wins. The Wizards has 2 wins. I think Detroit gonna fire their coach because they got a good team. They have a really good team. Out west, you have Minnesota Timberwolves are 12-4, behind the Oklahoma City Thunder 11-5, Phoenix Suns are 11-6, Nuggets are 11-6, Dallas Mavericks are 10-6, Sacramento 9-6. If the players would start right now, your Los Angeles Lakers would be 10-7, Houston Rockets are 8-6, New Orleans Pelicans are 9-8, Golden State Warriors are 8-9, Clippers, Utah, Portland, Memphis, and San Antonio. San Antonio looks good every now and then, but they've lost 3 games in a row. They lost 12 games.
12.
12.
Yeah, I meant to say 12 games. I meant to say they won 3 games, but they lost 12 games in a row. They're not that bad as a team. We watch him play. He's tanking again. He's definitely tanking again. And the NBA need to do something about that because he's tanking again. And if he gets the number 1 draft pick again, I'm going to be highly pissed off to festivities because he shouldn't have got it this time around either. I understand Wembanyama, they want him to make the face of the NBA, and I don't have no problem with that. But they could have made the face of the NBA with another team, not the Spurs. The Spurs would probably go the best team for him to go to because Pac is more fundamentally sound coach than anybody else out there. But again, I'm sorry, I don't get that, man. I really don't. It just pisses me off. And in basketball, I think that the teams that's like Toronto, Charlotte, the Bulls, the Pistons, the Wizards, the Clippers, the Utah Jazz, the Trailblazers, the Grizzlies, the Spurs, all those teams, if they're still in the same position they are at the end of the year, they need to have a playoff for the number 1 pick. The team that you have at the end of the year, that's the team you run with. If you win, you get that number 1 pick. It shouldn't be given to them. The lottery pick the lottery pick has been fixed since Hakeem Olajuwon, since Patrick Ewing. We can go Michael Jordan. The Houston Rockets got the number 1 pick back to back.
I just want to know how come you can't show us?
How come you can't show us?
Like that makes absolutely
no sense.
What?
Why they don't show us now?
Why the
NBA does the show with the lottery?
Because it's fixed.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And Lou and Matthew, if you never saw how fixed it is, go back and look at the draft. Go to YouTube, look at the draft for Patrick Ewing. He takes their card and he bends the card, and that card, they put that card in the refrigerator so that card would be cold. So he knew which card to pick. Yeah, see, they stop with the nonsense.
It was still balls, man.
It was still balls, man.
It wasn't a card.
It wasn't a card.
Don't that ask you a question about whether the NBA should, not the NBA, but the NFL should go to a lottery? I kind of answer your question.
No, because I think that is different in the NFL because in the NFL, you need so many more pieces because that one draft pick is not going to make you, or it's not going to make you an instant winner. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a lot of other pieces that go along with that. That's why I think it's just because.
But a lot of those, like, if you go back to just a few years ago when it was Tank Mature, Suck to Luck. And, so that one person can make it seem like blow for Joe. Joe Burrow.
I mean, what they could do too, if, like, say for example, if the two teams end up with the same record at the end of the season, they have a game. Whoever wins that get that draft pick. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they don't think the Players Association will go for that because and these guys are not gonna want to play on a crappy team. If you got a crappy team, they ain't want to play no extra games.
That's true. I mean, I get that, but it's always the thing about it is though is what bothers me is people have solutions to the problems, and they don't want they have a problem, and you give a solution. They're like, I don't like the solution. What solution you have? I don't have one. But we gave a solution to the problem.
You guys don't want to play no extra game now. They done already checked out.
Yeah, they're already in Acapulco. They're
already back, man.
Yeah, it's sad. And even with Aaron Rodgers talking about he gonna come back this year, why? That makes no sense at all.
Why?
Now I'm gonna say this though.
He's gonna tear it again.
I'm gonna say this though. I think that when Aaron Rodgers is coming back next year, I think you're gonna see the Jets be free agent happy again. Bringing in some more people to solidify that team because now they're seeing that that what they have right now. What is the site for the cap? Oh my goodness. Spot track. That's what it is. Spot track. Let's see, NFL. So if we go to look at the cap track right now, San Francisco, that's probably gonna change because they got Young and they got another dude on defense, so they got to pay them, or they're gonna let them walk. So in the top 5, as far as money is concerned, is 49ers, Cleveland Browns, the Washington Commanders, Cincinnati Bengals, Arizona Cardinals. Dallas Cowboys are 6. We know the Dallas Cowboys are going to spend money on Micah Parsons, and they got to give CeeDee Lamb some money, and I think they got to give somebody else some money. So they're not looking to be big during free agency. But if you look at Cincinnati, could do some damage. Cleveland could even do some damage. I mean, Cleveland got $34 million sitting right there for the add-on to the next salary cap coming up. And I told Mo this, but I'm gonna tell you guys this. Don't be surprised if they trade for Aaron Donald on the off season to go to Cleveland, because I heard some whispers about that. But if you think about Cincinnati, could do some damage because they got plenty of money. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, guys. Hey, we're at our time limit. Are we at our time limit? Yeah. Are we done? 8? Oh no, we 8:30, right? Yeah, we got 30 more minutes. I'm sorry. So I guess we can talk about some. Yeah. We can talk more about basketball. So, getting back to what I was saying. Oh, I know what I want to talk about in basketball. Your boy Giddey for
OKC.
OKC. This dude lost his everlasting. He done lost his everlasting mind.
Malone?
Huh?
This modern day version of Malone?
Yes. So, Curry, I don't know if you know this, but the NBA is looking into allegation on Oklahoma City guard Josh Gideon had improper relationship with an underage girl, league spokesman said Friday. The allegation surfaced on social media early this week. And since deleted posts and anonymous social media use said a girl who he's seen with Gideon's videos and photographs are a high school junior at the time. Social media's account has been since deactivated. Gideon is 21, declined comment Friday. I understand the questions, obviously, but there's no further comment right now, Gideon told reporters when asked about the allegation of after practice. Thunder coach Mark, whatever his name is, also declined to discuss the issue on Friday practice. Personal matters I have no comment on, the coach told the reporters, and that will be my comment on anything else. Gideon, the number 6 pick in the 2021 draft, averaging 12 points a game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists game, Thunder, who next plays against the visiting 76ers. Now, this is my thing. So you guys remember the Bird? Remember the guy that played in the NBA that was a Bird that played for Miami? Anderson was his name. And was his? Oh shucks, what's his name? Help me out, somebody.
Parajao?
Help me out.
Parajao?
No, his last name is Anderson. Help me out.
Chris.
Oh my God.
Chris Anderson.
Chris Anderson.
Yeah.
So Chris
Birdman?
Anderson, what happened to Chris Anderson was he got catfished in a scenario he had nothing to do. He didn't know anything about this dog. He didn't even know that he was the person that was. Somebody used his profile, okay, and said they were him, and come to find out the girl was younger, right? And now that's why he got banned from the NBA. If you ever watch Catfishes, it was on there. I couldn't believe it. I said, that guy looks familiar. I said to my wife, I said, that's Anderson that played basketball. But yeah, he's on one of the most hated lists in the NBA. I mean, in sports because of what he didn't do. He had nothing to do with it. But he won't be playing the NBA no more. But everything came out in the wash that it wasn't him. Somebody portrayed to be him, but now he's paying the penalty of it. And I guess he was at the end of his career. He's like, I don't care no more. I'm gonna live my life. If I don't ever play basketball again, I'm okay with it. I think that's just how he feels. But that happened to him. But this thing with Josh Gideon, man, this is crazy. How do you think if he's now let me say this. There's no age to fall in love with somebody. Okay. But there is accountability of looking at somebody and say, oh no, I can't do that. I got to at least wait till you turn 19 to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Or 21. But again, now I'm not taking nobody's side of this, but we know young ladies sometimes can make themselves look more mature than what they are. But the conversation had to be, he had to sit and say, yo, this conversation is not right for, even if she lied about her age. You know what I'm saying? So he's in some hot water right now. And it don't look good for him. But my question is, why is he still playing? That's
now, I feel like they won't wait until this investigation's over. If there is an investigation already active. And then on top of that, there's actually a former college student that went to school with him. At the time, he was doing the same thing in college.
Wow.
If that does come out to be true, because there are multiple college students that did go to college with him, that this is what happened.
And the thing about it is, I wondered did she introduce the mom and dad to the guy? And mom and dad's like, oh, money. It's like, ooh. He got money. You stay with him. You got money. We have to figure this out. But again, man, it don't look good. It doesn't look good on the NBA. It doesn't look good on him. And I hope that everything turns out to be false. But if from the sounds of what Matthew was saying, there's some validity to this, Mo. And he's from Canada. Yeah, he gonna have to go back to Canada and play basketball.
Australia.
Yeah, wherever he from, down under, he got to go back to play basketball. He can't stay here. It may not be an age limit there, but it is an age limit here. You know, that just makes no sense whatsoever, man. And it is what it is. Let me see what else we got for basketball. Mo, you got anything for basketball?
Nah. Philly sucks. I don't know why Philly's so good. Right now.
Because they ain't played nobody.
Yeah.
So, Curry, what you got? Anything good?
No.
Lou, what you got? Anything good?
Well, I thought they're doing phenomenal right now. I mean, first in the conference, they're doing. I know it's not doing much, but you can't deny how well they're doing. It's phenomenal. Your teams are pretty much in the basement.
Okay. Hey, hey, Mo, when you did when you did the NFL draft, did it tell you what player would be going where?
Yeah, it says the Bears are going to take Caleb Williams. The Cardinals are going to take Marvin Harrison. The Patriots are going to take Drake May. Chicago Bears are taking your offensive tackle from Penn State, Olu Fasano.
That's a smart move.
Commanders would take Brock Byers. The Giants would take Jaden Daniels. Tampa Bay will take Malik Neighbors, wide receiver from LSU. The Jets would take Joe Alt, offensive tackle from Notre Dame. Chargers will take Jerjon Newton, defensive lineman from Illinois. And then Tennessee Titans take Kool-Aid McKinstry, quarterback from Alabama. I always crack up every time I hear somebody name your son Kool-Aid. Gotta be black.
Is Deion Sanders' son anywhere in that draft?
He's usually the draft after.
Wow. He's not in the top 20. They got JJ McCarthy, Michigan quarterback, going 19. Bo Nix going 21.
Who's Bo Nix going to?
They got to go in Minnesota. That makes sense. Nah, they don't have Shakira going.
This could be the most quarterbacks to get drafted in the first round in a while.
Yeah, Michael Penix is supposed to go number 11.
Who's he going to?
Vegas.
Okay.
That might work. With his throwing, with the way he throws the ball. Yeah, a frozen rope.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to this draft. Not that the Browns or the Rams got the high draft pick, but I'm kind of looking forward to this thing. I can't wait to see these stupid guys. This bowl game coming up. Draymond Green with the suspension. Draymond Green feel like he didn't do anything wrong. So I got all four of you guys on the panel.
Right.
If somebody grabs you by the neck like he did, I'm thinking, I'm like, oh my Lord, I'm about to die. Somebody's trying to kill me.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
he got off easy.
He did get off easy, you know what I'm saying? But if you notice how the referees are checking the Golden State Warriors of like Foster and Chris Paul do not get along. It's personal with them guys. It's personal. And now the NBA is saying they don't want him refereeing no more games. But I'm like, you can't do that because what they tell us when you playing basketball, know your referees, know what you're going to call against you. You can't give him the opportunity to make that call on you because you know what he likes to call. If the NBA steps in and allows that to happen again, NBA is pretty much fixed as well. You got two commissioners that don't have no guts to step up and say no more. And speaking of commissioners, I think Roger Goodell about to get another paycheck. He about to get another raise. I think a crazy raise.
I believe they gave him a contract extension.
Okay. A crazy raise.
At least until 2027.
Wow. What else we got up here? Olympics 2024. The Summer Olympics are in Los Angeles.
That's in 2028. They're in Paris.
Paris, 2024.
Paris, 2024.
So with everything going on over there, even though it ain't in European part of it, are you feeling comfortable sending your family member over to Paris to participate in Olympic Games? I don't know.
What's going on? That part of the world, it is a pretty scary time.
Yeah, I'll be really leery.
Also, right now, Paris is currently dealing with a bed bug infestation. I believe it's been going on now for almost a couple of months.
Wow, and they had that. I think they had that once at one of the one Olympics before. I don't know if this is a true fact that they said in the Olympics they gave out 1 million rubbers, prophylactics, at the Olympics. I bet there's a lot of international babies being made over there.
Was that in Atlanta?
Was that in Atlanta?
No, this is recent. This is last Summer Olympics they had. Well, both summer and winter.
I think you might be right. Because some hotels, I believe, they're actually offering some people those because they want like a developmental. Like they believe like people want to meet people. Like one person from this area, another person from this area.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin.
Yes.
Do you think Jason Pierre-Paul still have anything left? I saw where the Dolphins probably gonna sign.
I just saw that. I was about to say something about. I just saw it. They're expected to sign Jason Pierre-Paul. I think he does have something to tank. For some fact, he don't have to do a lot. He just have to do enough.
Right.
And I'm gonna give you my scenario. I'm gonna give you my scenario with the Rams with Aaron Donald and Von Miller. In the last series in the Super Bowl, they could go all out. Each both could go out and save. They might have saved themselves a little bit, but they knew that last series they had to go out and do what they had to do, and they did what they had to do. You know what I'm saying? So that allows you to be better than what you were doing that game, even doing that year. So picking them up, I think that's a come up. For real. I think that will be a come up for them guys. Greg Olsen interested in the Panthers job, head coaching job. Are you for real?
Yeah, that would. He could be interested in it. You know, I'm interested in that Jets job, but I don't think I'm gonna get it.
Wow.
But them Giants.
No, I like picking on them Jets, but But I'm more. They're very irrelevant right now, so I'm more excited about Buffalo right now.
Yeah.
Matthew,
what you
Giants right now, though.
Go ahead, Matthew.
Real quick. I gotta give them props for what they did for their third string. They gave him the Sopranos entrance as he was running out onto the field. And that kind of gave me a little hint. I'm like, if this person does well, like if he plays this weekend on out and he wins like half or 3/4 of what's left, that might be an option for them.
So okay. So what do you think they do with Jones then? Do you sell him? It's a quarterback competition next year, or do you try to send him somewhere else?
How much is left on his contract?
He just signed a new contract.
I feel like you do a competition. Now, the contract was like 1 year or 2 years left, and I would have been thinking about trading or potentially giving them a head of notice.
Okay. Mo.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Westbrook, he's come off the bench now, and there's still problems out there. How do you see that? And how do you see? I'm gonna say this to you. Remember, I said to you, I would love to see him in some green and white.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see this playing out with Westbrook and the Clippers? He said, okay, I can sit down if this is gonna make the team better, but it's not making the team better.
The problem is they need to break up the scoring.
They need to break up the scoring.
Westbrook works well with the starters because he brings the energy that they need. They should actually have Harden on the second, be the sixth man. He breaks that because then he could just go out and score. He ain't got to play. And then they get all working out when they go to when they do the finishing five. This makes no sense right now, man, because nobody wants to just give in.
Yeah, it says here Russell Westbrook hits a new low with the Clippers, and things aren't likely going to be looking up anytime soon. Westbrook has struggled to adjust to the presence of James Harden. Westbrook played pretty well to start the season, all things considered. He averaged 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists in 34 minutes, which is good numbers for him per game as a starting point guard for Los Angeles Clippers. They were plus 64. They were plus 64 in minutes he played in those games and started the season with a 3-2 record. He wasn't quite his all-star self, but by large he was better than the Clippers could have expected out of a 35-year-old making minimum money, and then they traded for James Harden. And 5 starts alongside Harden, Westbrook's field goal percentage plummeted, roughly 10% points. His scoring, rebound, and assists all dipped, considering the Clippers lost his minutes by 27 points. Lost his minutes by 27 points. They were even worse in the minutes he specifically shared with Harden. They went 0-5 over the games they started the former Oklahoma City Houston teammates together. And then they pulled the plug. Westbrook returned to the bench role he held with the Lakers, and for the most part, the team got better. They won the first 3 games, which Westbrook has reserved, even if they were playing considerably fewer minutes. He already declined playing time, took a nosedive on Friday, in a 116-106 loss to the New Orleans Pelicans. Westbrook played just 14 minutes. It was technically the 4th lowest figure of his career, according to Ben Golliver, but functionally. It was the least he has ever played in a meaningful game that did not involve an injury. Westbrook scored 3 points on 1 of 8 shooting. Harden wasn't much better, making just 2 of his 8 shot attempts, but he played 37 minutes, appeared to be playing moving forward. Harden and Westbrook can't function together. Their time in Houston proved that before the Clippers even landed 2018 MVP, The suspicion has thus been far confirmed. Lions featuring with the two of them have a minus negative 16.6 net rating in 241 possessions, according to Clean the Glass. Hardy needs teammates that shoot, cut, screen, defend. Westbrook has really done those things willingly, except shoot, let alone. Westbrook's success relies on having the ball in his hands as frequently as possible. The Clippers saw what that looked like at the end of last season and the beginning of this one. It went well on paper. The Clippers still decided he wasn't good enough. That was a fundamental conclusion that drove Harden trade. The history together proved that they can't coexist. Adding Hardy meant minimizing Westbrook or exercising him entirely. Yo, he's gonna ask for a buyout.
You can achieve diabetes without exercise, making it and more time in range and lower your.
He's gonna ask for a buyout. He's gonna ask for a buyout. I see it coming. I really do. I don't know where he's gonna go, but I see a buyout coming down the line.
Skip Bayless. The man goes for it. Go put on. They can argue about basketball.
Oh my lord. Yo, that's too funny. That's too funny. I still think he got some playing. He just gotta go to the right team. I could see him with he could go to Miami. That would help. He ain't gotta do much down there. You know, like Pierre Paul, he goes there, just does the job. Miami would be a good fit for him. I could see him going to Miami. I definitely know where he could go, Mo. He could go to Milwaukee Bucks. They said, what's the name's done for the year? What's the name? Middleton. I read something that he might be done for the year. Let me look up real quick.
Yeah.
That said something about his knee or something.
He just don't want to play basketball no more.
Hopefully it wasn't the same knee as last year.
I think it is. I think it was. I think it is the issue with that knee. I think it is. I feel sorry for him, man, because that's the hurt.
I think he's had that knee problem since 2014.
Wow, 8 years.
Like I think it's like a genetic, like inside the bone. Like even if he gets surgery, it just happens again.
Oh, this is Achilles. It says his Achilles is questionable for tonight's matchup against the Heat. This is Achilles. You know that's nothing to play with at all. You just can't mess with that thing. All right, guys, we had 2 hours today. Anybody got an update on the score of the football game? Like we really care. Like we really care.
I just gotta ask this one question to everybody.
Go ahead.
Is Buffalo gonna make the playoffs? They are 6-6. They gotta play at the Chiefs. Versus the Cowboys. At the Chargers, they should win. Versus the Patriots, they should win. They finished at the Dolphins. They might be 8-9.
Wow. That's not looking good.
That's it.
Hey, Curry. Do you think if they end up 8-9, do they fire the coach?
Do they fire the coach? He's already gone. Yeah, he's gone. I think no. The Buffalo media, they want him gone, and he I read something the other day about him. Said he fired Leslie Frazier last year, but it was the offense that couldn't score.
Exactly.
The year before that, when Kansas City scored on them with 13 seconds left, he fired the special teams coach. And then this year, he fired after after they had that 12 men on the field, he fired the offensive coordinator. And so Buffalo media is saying, well, he's the last house on the block. So that tells me he's going.
I hope they fire him.
I hope they fire him.
He went to college with Mike Tomlin. He could be our defensive coordinator.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Here we go with this message.
I'm telling you, bro.
I
would love that.
That's all.
Always about me. Always about me. Always about me. So I got a quick question for you guys. So what's the difference? Let me ask you a question. What's the difference in Buffalo and Philly? Because Philly lost both the offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator last year, but they're back here winning 10-1. So is it? I mean, you know what I'm saying? How? Because they said he's the offensive coordinator is the reason why he can't get it done because he went to the Giants. But why is it not the same thing? Even though Philadelphia is winning ugly, why does the same thing apply to Philly when they lose both the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator and they're 10-1? Can somebody explain that one?
Yeah. Where's coordinator go?
Matthew, what'd you say?
Chemistry in the locker room.
Okay.
It all starts in the locker room before you go to the field.
I think that has a problem. Curry, what did you say?
Speaking of chemistry in the locker room, you have some little fighting going on up there in Pittsburgh locker room?
Yeah, after they got smacked by the Browns. He don't want to talk about that.
We have gotten so many Browns coaches fired after they play us. Be happy you got one of ours fired.
Yo, you don't want to talk about that. You want to talk about that fight in the locker room. You ain't want to talk about that, though.
Deontay Johnson need to get his butt kicked. Did you see him in this game? After he didn't hold on to the touchdown, he quit the next play when we actually fumbled. The ball came towards him. He didn't go for it. He turned around. Oh, terrible. It's terrible. Oh, I'll talk about it all day. I'll talk about it in my Steelers all the time.
So does it mean that the coach can't motivate him to play better? Is it time for the coach to leave?
This coach kept Antonio Brown and Le'Veon in control. You gonna say this about Deontay Johnson?
So he ain't got
the talent of Antonio Brown.
Not really. Go ahead, Curry.
We got picks for Antonio Brown.
Chase Claypool. He playing with the Dolphins. What's up with that guy? Why do you think he can't get on the field?
Because his head is bigger than his heart and his hands. He thinks he's better than he is, and he stopped working. That 10 touchdowns in his first year blew his head up. Even Steelers fans, we were happy that we selected him over Jalen Hurts.
Now look at y'all.
Yeah.
He ain't on the damn team.
Yeah.
We
got a second round pick for him. We got Joey Porter Jr. We happy. Thank you, Bears.
All right, guys, it's 8:33.
I just wondered about that.
Yeah, Claiborne. This is third team, right? Because he got traded. He went to the Bears.
13,
and then the Bears traded him to.
He's at the Dolphins now.
Okay. He got talent. He just don't know how to put it in the right, frame of mind. A lot of times these guys.
Right. Yeah, I just wonder why he couldn't get on the field.
But real quick though, Tomlin didn't corral Antonio Brown that much. When Antonio Brown got that big contract, that's when Antonio Brown started acting a fool. And your boy talked about that on ESPN.
Antonio Brown had the contract for 3 years.
Yeah, Ryan Clark talked about it.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when the year that he didn't sign, they say, "Yo, come back and sign. We're gonna do this thing." Ryan Clark said that was the biggest mistake they could have ever done because now he said he's a mess on fire. He gonna light everything up. But the football field.
It was 3 years though. It was 3 years after he signed the contract.
Hey, Kevin, when Antonio Brown started acting a fool is when Burfict knocked him silly on the field. After that, he ain't been right since.
Ooh, yeah, because he walked around walk off the field with his shoulder pads off, showing the six-pack, knowing he got an extra stomach muscle somewhere.
No.
Yeah.
The first sign was when he actually recorded. We were going to play New England. The game that Le'Veon got hurt. He played it live in the locker room.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It is after though. It is after Juju actually hit perfect back. Because that's the game after that when he's talking about karma.
Yeah. All right, guys. Great show tonight, man. Appreciate you guys coming on. Hope to see y'all next week. Man, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Looking forward to Christmas coming up, man. Rob, thanks for chiming in on the live feed again. Things are looking up for us. We're just doing some good things here. We're doing some great things here. Matthew's posting a lot of Washington stuff, and Lou's add his 2 cents on the page as well. Lou's doing a great job. Great job, man. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I like that page, Lou.
And again, I'm saying for Christmas, I would like to have everybody that's been a host with me. Even if you're not a host anymore, just come on the show and let's talk. Let's see what you're doing, how you're doing, things of that nature. I ain't got no hard feelings for nobody that's trying to do a come up. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I ain't mad at nobody. I mean, I did train a lot of people. I don't get no thanks for it, but that's okay because God knows my heart. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So, you guys, appreciate you guys coming on.
I don't know if I can be on next Monday, guys. We're going to be in Washington watching the Dolphins take care of the Redskins. We'll see how that goes Monday.
Okay. All right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get on out of here.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by KD from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Daniel the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Murray E. Basketball from Canada. Be more careful, Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big-time players make big-time plays and big-time games, and big-time games to be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk Radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on Star107FM.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support.